Gaza today is not just a narrow strip of land along the Mediterranean. It has become the embodiment of a wound that never closes. Each passing day, another building is flattened, another roof collapses, another childhood dream shatters, each like a knife cut deep into a wound that has been bleeding for decades. To look at Gaza is not only to see smoke and fire, but also to witness the fragility of humanity itself, the terrifying silence of the world, and the helplessness of values we once called international justice. A wound, if left untreated, becomes infected and turns into a chronic pain. Gaza is exactly that pain, a tear that has never been bandaged. Its people have grown accustomed to explosions shaking the ground beneath their feet, to dust replacing the morning sun, to streets turning into craters overnight. Yet such familiarity is not acceptance. It is the sign of a body forced to live with injury. The bleeding of Gaza is not only from its collapsed buildings, but also from its shattered souls. Millions of people here are trapped in a vicious cycle: deprivation, fear, anxiety, and loss. Children grow up under the sound of bombs, learning to distinguish types of shells before they even master the alphabet. The elderly lie awake at night, unsure if they will survive until morning. Every family carries its own list of losses: a loved one gone, a home destroyed, a dream buried under rubble. The world may attempt to understand Gaza through statistics: how many are dead, how many are injured, how many houses have turned to ruins. But numbers are the cold face of truth. The wound of Gaza is not found in spreadsheets. It lies instead in the tearful eyes of children left without parents, in the trembling hands of a mother clutching the last photograph of her child, in the silent void where schools, hospitals, and markets once stood. It is the wound of a people stripped of their right to live as human beings. An open wound, when exposed to light, should make it impossible to look away. And yet, paradoxically, Gaza, the very wound itself, has been wrapped in global silence. News of bombings may appear in the evening broadcast, only to be forgotten by morning as daily life resumes elsewhere. Children still walk safely to school in other lands, shops remain busy, conversations are filled with laughter. Only in Gaza does tomorrow look exactly like yesterday. More smoke, more loss, more cries hidden in the ashes. The most frightening destruction is not material but emotional numbness. A wound that lingers too long becomes normalized by those who observe it. Gaza risks being turned into a familiar tragedy that the world merely scrolls past. Yet for those who live there, nothing is ordinary. Every death is a universe collapsing. Every orphaned child is a stolen future. Every demolished house is a buried memory. And still, Gaza exposes a deeper paradox. Amid its ruins, it reveals what humanity often hides. It lays bare the indifference of the international community, the loopholes of global law, and the hollowness of promises made after every war. Promises of never again. Gaza is proof that humanity can become accustomed to pain, turning the suffering of others into a distant spectacle for debate, then forgetting it altogether. Gaza is also a mirror reflecting the conscience of the world. On one side lies imposed suffering, on the other, complicit silence. The people of Gaza did not choose their fate, but the world always has a choice: to intervene, to act, to speak the truth. And yet, most of the world chooses to look away. That very choice ensures Gaza's wound keeps bleeding. If humanity still possesses a conscience, Gaza must be seen as a warning bell. A land cannot forever remain an open wound for the world to witness in indifference. Its people do not need pity, they need justice. They need a life where safety is not a foreign word, where peace is not just an empty slogan. They need to be recognized not as statistics on a screen, but as human beings, with the right to live, to dream, to be loved. Perhaps the real question is not how long must Gaza endure, but rather, how long will humanity remain indifferent? The wound of one nation, if left unattended, can grow into the disease of all humanity. For when we allow suffering to become normal, when we accept injustice without action, we tarnish the very values we claim to uphold: human rights, justice, compassion. Gaza's wound is not only its own loss, it is a reflection of the world's moral loss. Gaza is an open wound, and that wound reflects the conscience of us all. Do we still have the courage to face it, to admit that silence is itself a crime? Or will we continue to look away, allowing the wound to fester, to rot, to pass down as a legacy of pain for generations to come? The final question still echoes amid the smoke and the cries of children. Does the world truly see the wound of Gaza?